Namaskar. If one tries to see everything from a spiritual or yogic point of view, how can that person adjust with someone who lives a materialistic lifestyle? You know, spiritual aspirants, they cannot meditate 24 hours a day. They have to maintain their families, they have to earn a living through their job, and keep contact with their community or in their workplace. And most people today, meditation is not part of their daily life. In fact, most people live a very materialistic way of life. So there's a daughter of spiritual parents. She tries to find ways in which young people can enjoy their evenings out without the consumption of alcohol. So she organizes karaokes in an establishment which is not serving alcohol for that occasion. And she hopes that in this way, young people will be able to enjoy their evenings without the consumption of alcohol. You know, life never deals us a perfect hand. We're always forced to adjust with a social event we can't avoid, a family member, a friend, and in this way, we may not be able to follow exactly as we would like. So here, there's an adjustment. We don't have to adjust our dietary choices, but we may have to step out temporarily from our spiritual way of living as an adjustment to living in this materialistic-oriented society. So for this reason, it's very important to attend the weekly collective meditations we call satsang, keeping good company, because there we're in the company of like-minded spiritual people. We meditate together, and that collective meditation, that synergy creates the momentum that helps us and carries us through the whole week until the next week's meditation. And nowadays there are many online meditations, so we can find time to join those online meditations. They provide a kind of shield for us living in a materialistically oriented world. And you know, whenever a Dada or Didi visits our town, we should organize their program, because this is a great way to introduce spirituality to someone who may have a curiosity for it. And they can understand the logical reasons behind doing meditation, and they will experience firsthand the benefits of meditation, yogic asanas, deep relaxation, and it's a great service we can offer them to introduce them to the whole new concept of human life based on spirituality. And we may find, at least we are planting seeds for the future. And speaking of planting seeds, I remember a story. When I was a new Dada back in 1978, I was working in Italy to try to raise my airfare to go to my first posting in Africa. And I visited a town called Florence. There I initiated one brother, and he learned meditation. And 18 years later, in 1996, I was working in Southeast Asia. I was attending our collective meditation in our center in Manila, Philippines. And after the collective meditation, that same brother reintroduced himself, bid me namaskar, and said, Dada, you taught me meditation 18 years ago in Florence. Thank you very much. And so I found a very balanced and spiritually sincere person who had found a spiritual partner and lived in the Philippines. So, you know, we may find a partner who's not yet ready to adapt a spiritual way of life, but they love us and we love them. In this case, the spiritual aspirant will have to face many difficulties in terms of the lifestyle choices and the diet of their partner. And it's a great test of our own spiritual depth that we could convince them through our own good behavior and conduct and lifestyle that spirituality and meditation is very good for them too. So all over the world, we have what are called spiritual communities or master units. And they're persons who do meditation and live a spiritual way of life. They can earn a livelihood by doing something related to their spiritual way of life. It might be a school, a wellness center, children's home, might be growing organic food or producing something from that organic food. In this way, they can maintain their livelihood and their families without compromising their spiritual way of life, which is very important for them. So in short, it's not easy for a spiritual person today to maintain their way of life and their practices in the midst of a materialistic oriented society. We have to remember that we're the first generation of spiritually oriented individuals. And slowly and surely we can spread this practice and teachings to others who might be interested and create a whole new advanced human civilization on our planet Earth. Thank you. Namaskar.